Hello, and welcome back to Dragonborn Industries. Words are already failing me today, as well as the sound. If you guys at home can barely hear me, let me know, because Richard is really struggling to hear me, and I'm really loud to myself, so let us know. Hello, Hagley. Hello, Herbalist. Again, if you guys can hear us, let us know, because we're having some sound issues between us. But we're back for painting up the monster manual. Where, sound okay this end? Cool. Richard, you say something?
Can everyone hear me okay?
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. We wait for the 10-second gap to go. Because streaming, it's a little muffled on your end, apparently. Or is it a little muffled on everything there, Herbalist?
Say that again?
Gotta love the tech issues, yeah. Just on Richard's mic.
Hopefully it'll be okay.
We will find out. I'll kill him quick and it'll be fine. We're back for painting up the monster manual, episode 8. Episode 8. We are continuing our quest through the monster manual, painting them one at a time, 1 hour, 1 mini, and we're going to roll initiative. This week we are carrying on the last of the animated series, which is going to be the Rug of Smothering, which, again, WizKids didn't do a mini for, so Richard has printed out these freaking awesome, and these are by far my favourite print you have ever done, which is saying something, because you've sent me some stunning stuff.
It depends on what it says for me. I printed you a robot, dude, come on.
No, thing is, I really like terrain pieces, and I really like really obscure monsters. So things like this, that there with that detail that's so goddamn smooth, that can just be a nice little terrain piece in a room. And you've got like the actual one that's like animated up, and it's just awesome. So yeah, well done, man. It's my favourite mini that you've sent me so far. And like I said, you've sent me some awesome stuff. So Richard, while you try and do the tech thing on your side, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you?
Hello everybody, I am Richard from Warrior Prints 3D. I am your one-stop shop for anything 3D printing related, be it minis, terrain, random pieces of things you just want to get, book nooks.
They're awesome. They're really cool. The whole group's going mad for those right now at Band of Badgers, aren't they?
That's it. Everyone's getting them. They're amazing.
They're fucking cool.
And anything in between. We handle any sort of printing you could want. If there's anything you're curious about or anything you need, drop me a message and I'm sure I can find something that might suit one's needs.
And he certainly can do that. I mean, like, I'm going to grab it because it's actually not holding a camera right now, and I'm in such love with this particular model that Richard did for me. I mean, that's my BD1 unit that Richard printed for me. It's bigger than my head, and yet the rug is still my favourite thing.
Yeah, I don't know what, you know.
But yeah, so if you need anything, check Richard out. And hopefully, between Nightbot and the things, your link should be coming up for your Instagram, where I believe it's best place for people to contact you.
Yes, it is indeed.
So do click on the link. Hello to everybody in chat. Awesome to have you back. Dibs, hello, how you doing? Hagley, Herbalist, grabbing a coffee. Herbalist, I got the book back this morning and my wife is loving it. Thank you for signing that for her. That's amazing. This week, though, guys, we are covering the Rug of Smothering. So it's this one down here from the Monster Manual, which is possibly one of my favourite creatures in there. Don't do it, you will ask for him for one and end up with 87. So this is one of my favourite creatures, and simply because it's a great dungeon filler again, and it's a CR2 creature, so whereas the other animated objects are in that like CR1 quarter to CR1, I like this because this can almost be a boss fight for level 3 characters. So if you're crawling through a dungeon or if you're going through a house, and, you know, we'll see this in action, this makes a great sort of bigger fight for a party when they like get to like the wizard's bedroom or a place where they're trying to find whatever they're skulking around for. So I really like it. Richard, have you ever like had one of these come up in your D&D events?
Yes, so I have done these a couple of times. I've often had them as once or twice run-of-the-mill, and then I do enjoy doing the incredibly nasty one every so often, because again, it's one of those monsters that people will let their guard down for.
Yeah.
because they'll see the carpet on the middle of the floor, and they'll think, that's the one, that's the one. Whereas actually it's the welcome mat as they come through the doorway that then rips off their leg.
Exactly that.
So, you know, it is, again, it's one of those typical monsters that people will actually look out for. And the best way to get the party and to get people thinking is have the big obvious one right in the middle that everyone's really careful and walks around, when there's actually maybe little ones around, or another one, or even a tapestry that hangs over the ceiling that descends upon them.
Tapestry is
one thing I did because I'm a mean bastard.
And tapestry is one of my favourite ones because I like tapestries in front of like secret doors, and that's its guardian, and that's its kind of like, you go like skulking around the room and everybody's like, I'm avoiding the rug in the middle, and then like somebody eventually moves it with a mage hand and it's just a pit of acid or there's nothing there. And they're like, okay, right, they feel like they're safe, and then they move the tapestry and it's just like, well, if you'd have cast Detect Magic, you'd have seen that, but roll initiative, as they then go into suffocating, which we will get to because we have 1 hour. And I have a plan in mind for how I'm going to do this mini. Do you have a plan in mind?
I have a slight plan in mind. I am thinking very much trying to stick to the colour scheme of the picture we've got up.
So am I, my friend. Reds and greens, and then I've got the good old Retributor. Because that is the best gold. I'm actually nearly out of it because of these shows.
Really?
Yeah, well, because of these, and like I use it on a lot of dice because it's just the nicest gold.
I'd say it's the nicest gold to do the numbers and stuff with.
Yeah, it's so rich and deep. Anyway, I'm going to stop sucking the dick of Retributor armor, and then we're going to get on with the show. So, Richard, have you rolled up a level 3 random character for me?
I have indeed. Today, I am Jessica.
Jessica.
Water Genasi Paladin.
Nice. So, what did you know? I'm going to write this down. Paladin, because I want to know some stuff shortly. Jessica, yeah.
She is very devout in her ways. I believe she is. Where is the oath? So I am Oath of the Open Sea. So
this is going to be useful.
Yeah. Jessica, having been sailing on the ships and being the presence of the Almighty and guardian of the seas, is now in a house dealing with people.
Well, I will bring you into the world in a second. Richard, if you are ready, could you roll initiative for me, please? So, the Rug of Smothering has your standard animated object sort of stat blocks for those of you that are there. I'm going to hit the timer as well, because I didn't do that when I said roll initiative. So, you see things like, and I'll give this to the audience, which you don't have to give to your players. It has things like a plus in its strength and dex, but things like its intelligence, its wisdom, its charisma, it's an inanimate object that's been animated via magic. It doesn't have a high one in those. But its dex is all right. It's a +2. I have a 7 + 2 for a 9.
13.
13. So Jessica will be going first with a 13, and the Rug will be a 9. Let's set the scene for you, Richard, as we go into painting this mini.
Okay.
You find that after you have approached this house in Waterdeep, your party splitting up to find entranceway, your wizard going one way, your fighter, was it last week, going the other?
No, rogue last week.
Rogue going the other, and yourself, the third member of this party, deciding to scale the wall with your strength and maybe trying to get in through a window. You manage to get in. Surprisingly easy compared to the legends of Waterdeep, that this house is... the objects inside are unobtainable. It's strange that people would say that when you've been able to get in so easily. Maybe the deitic powers that guide you have blessed you, or maybe the adventuring party that you are, the notoriety of Waterdeep and their adventurers has somehow given you the ability to get in here. However, you find yourself in a bedroom. You make me a stealth check, because I imagine you are trying to get in quietly.
Yeah, I will attempt it with my beautiful disadvantage. I'm 16 stealth check.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to say that the Rug is a fantastic thing at perception, because it's really not. Its wisdom is a -4, and its passive perception is 6. So, no eyes, it just goes off its magical sensors. But you kind of, with this heavy armor on, and you clatter your way into the room. But quieter than you'd expect, you find that you're in a very decadent room. There is a luxurious four-poster bed with regal-like heavy linens of reds and golds and greens. You find pictures all around the walls, like fine art that's come from all the different lands of the Sword Coast and all the different lands of Faerun. It's hard to believe that this place is abandoned and that everyone's saying that nobody can get in, because this place looks so clean and tidy and like somebody lives here in this room. There is a chest of drawers over the other side of the room. There is a double set of doors, which again only would say that somebody of great wealth lives in a house like this. There are tapestries on the ceiling, a nice rug in the center of the floor. What do you do?
I proceed forward into the room, and I am evaluating every corner, nook and cranny as I tread carefully.
Okay.
Relying on my instincts as a paladin, I will also ping out and make sure I've actually got it, my divine sense. Yes, so I will, as an action, I detect good and evil. To the end of my next turn, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Okay. Nothing pings overly close to you. There is a ping beneath you somewhere, within this property, but down, and it's just on the edge of your spell's radius. Down further than where the ground should be. You sense...
Now, one thing I would also like to just make an announcement to people, because I would love to know the consensus of the D&D community. So the Paladin Divine Sense actually does not let you sense through walls.
I sort of wave that every now and again, because if something's like behind total cover...
I wave it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, because I don't agree with the fact that if there's a zombie 3 feet away from you, just happens to be hiding behind a brick wall or a rock, you can't sense him for shit.
I completely agree. And
so one of my house rules is basically that so long as it's not disguised or hidden by magic or behind lead or whatever, I think it is one of those the metallics, it can be sensed no matter where.
Yeah,
you can't exactly point and go, right, it's right there, but you know it's in your area of effect.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I think that, and that's something you can do with your own D&D groups. You can have house rules. Like, we have a house rule that's, away from this one, like, to quaff a potion of healing is a bonus action, and to give it to a friend is an action, whereas actually it's supposed to be a full action in D&D, but actually... I like that as a bonus.
We follow the crit roll way the same as well.
Yeah, and same with like Divine Sense and certain spells like Barkskin. And I had this chat with people online the other day. Barkskin's a druid spell that gives you a higher AC, and you're supposed to cast it like mage armor, but it's got such a high material cost. It's almost pointless. So I'm like, no, waive that material cost, because this should be something that the druid should be able to do. However, you get a fiend ping. The pinnacle of the actual distance of this spell, way further down beneath you somewhere. You know you're on the second story. You know that you don't need to worry about that yet, but it's definitely something to keep in mind, especially with the rest of your party somewhere else in this house. However, as you traverse across the room, you are treading carefully and you start investigating, as you said. Give me an investigation check. And while you do that, I'm quite literally taking corn red and I'm dry brushing the entire thing over my very dark grey prime. And then I'm going to do that again. And then I'm going to use greens on some of the accents bits to try and keep to the kind of colour scheme that's beneath us there.
Right, investigation is a solid 8.
A solid 8?
I'm doing something different. I'm going for a straight up green in the centre, and I'm going to be doing an accent of red around the edge, and then the very edges will be gold at either end. Or the yellowy gold, I should say.
I am also doing gold for the tassels and the edges, and for all the accent highlighting, I'll use some white. So, as you make your way across the room, you feel that between your lack of dexterity, and you know this is a paladin, you are all about the strength and the charisma, not necessarily all about sneaking around. And you knock into the four-poster bed, and they have these big drapes that are stopping you from seeing into the actual bed itself, and inside it you just hear something rustle or something move. What do you do?
I will probably rely on my combat skills and sort of jump back and draw weapons.
Yeah, you jump back and draw weapons. You stand in the room. What weapon have you got drawn?
I have a long sword and a shield.
A long sword and a shield, yeah. So you have your long sword drawn, your shield up, and the rustling stops from inside that four-poster bed.
I am also trying to keep aware from behind me. Do not wish to be lured into a trap.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You heard the rustling, but you didn't see anything move. You'd expect with that level of volume and, you'd expect the bed to shake or the curtains to move, but it very unnaturally didn't.
I will actually stop, tuck and roll, and I'm going to roll towards the bed and prepare for something to attack me from behind.
Okay. Give me an athletics check, or an acrobatics check. Let's see how you do just tucking and rolling.
Can it be athletic?
No, because that's more of a strength-based thing, whereas acrobatics is more like trying to tuck and roll, I guess. So I'm going to say no to that one. You can give me the comical...
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All of a sudden, you're like, ooh, you roll, you turn, the sword draws and points. Nothing.
You've got me on edge. Right. I will compose myself and head towards a possible hopeful door away from this room.
Yeah, so you start making your way across the centre of the room. You tread carefully across that centre rug, and you make your way to the double door. You're now off the rug.
Is the door locked?
Are you just trying it, or do you want to give it an investigation check?
I will give it an investigation check. I have travelled with my companion rogue for a little while now and seen what they do.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, please. So at this point now, while Richard's doing that, there are these details on the centre of the rug, which is like a skull and crossbones that are woven into the carpet. I'm doing those in the Caliban green, which is like the Dark Angels green, basically. And then we'll go through and start picking out things from there.
Okay, that was a 14.
14. It's unlocked.
I will open it.
The door opens, and you are faced with a corridor. You are on one side of it, so it's probably about 5 to 7 foot across, and then you can see it goes probably 20 feet to the left and about 10 feet to the right. Again, lovely, regal-looking estate. There are art pictures on the walls. There are gold railings around the top that things could be hung on and moved around. Maybe curtains to cover up the art when they need to be, but no curtains there. The floor is a long red carpet that is decking the entire floor. And the wood of all the doors, so you don't see a door opposite you, but about 10 feet to the left and 10 feet to the right, just before the corner, there are two very grand oak wooden doors. But not doubles, they are singles, unlike the double you're just coming through.
Okay. I'll head for the closest door on the left to me.
What's your passive perception, buddy?
Passive. We are a whole 12.
Whole 12. Okay. So, you take one step outside of the door, and as soon as you cross the threshold, you watch as this long carpet, all one material, you see like almost like a square of it underneath your feet shift as you stand onto it. And what's hard to see was like this perfect bit of carpet that was laid perfectly on top of another bit of carpet was so well camouflaged that as it animates and goes up to grab you, it's going to make its surprise attack on you. So it's going to try and smother you. This is going to be a melee weapon attack. It's going to be a +5 to hit, and it's got 5-foot reach. You're stood on it, so that is within that. That is a 17 +5 for a 23.
Yeah, I'm going to think that hits.
Okay. As soon as you step on it, you notice it move. You have enough of a history of combat to know that this something is happening. Something is acting unnaturally. The rug, kind of like Doctor Strange's cape, whips up and just begins to try and bind you. It is going to. You are currently grappled. You can use. I think your action to try and break free from this shortly. But you are grappled, and until the grapple ends, you are restrained, you are blinded, and you are at risk of suffocating as the rug slowly starts squeezing in on you. This trap laid just outside the door, and you are going to take... So it does 2d6 plus 3 of damage. That is 6, 7, 8, 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
What is your Constitution modifier for me, please?
+2.
+2. Okay, so normally a suffocating creature, according to D&D, can survive a number of rounds equal to its Constitution modifier. So you can usually hold your breath for 30 seconds plus that. If Richard takes damage in the next round, he will be dropped to the 2 rounds, basically. If he doesn't succeed the 2 rounds and is still restrained and smothered, he then goes to the dying condition. So this is one of those creatures where conditions are important because you want to know, one, how they work, because in this particular case, the suffocation is the most important thing. But, Richard, the lights go out, you are smothered, you are bound, and you feel yourself being twisted and warped by this.
I have my weapons in hand, so I'm trying to sort of use my shield to brace to be able to sort of aid in stopping the smothering as best I can and stab through with my sword.
Okay, so you can make an attack. However, you are at disadvantage because you are restrained and grappled. So there are a lot of conditions going on here. So for those of you who know, a restrained creature's speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, and the creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Alright, I rolled a 17 and a 15.
17 and a 15. It's got an armor class of 12. So if you'd like to roll some damage.
Okay, I am also going to...
So the only trouble with this one that's folded over, trying to get into like that fold of the carpet to get the details is actually kind of hard with a brush, but as long as I'm being slow and careful, I think I can get them all.
Right, as a bonus action, I'm going to use Fury of the Tides.
Yes.
Once per turn, I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I choose to push the target 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
If it's pushed into an obstacle or another creature, it takes +2 bludgeoning damage. I'm also going to use my Divine Smite.
Okay, perfect. So the bonus action, you can't see right now, so let's roll a d6. And actually, no, let's roll a d4. 1 is straightforward, so you've got a 5 foot, it will be pushed away. A 2 will be behind you back into the door, so it will hit the wall and won't go anywhere. And then a 3 and a 4 will be left and right.
So what am I rolling?
A d4 for me, please.
D4 for you. Right, it takes 14 points of damage.
Okay.
And D4, 1.
1. You manage to like push it off, but it sort of drags you with it. because you haven't attempted to try and like remove yourself from this entity. Let's say, give me because it's forced movement, which would usually stop restraining or grappled and things like that. Let's do an opposed strength check, let's say, to see if this can be a way of breaking free of it while you push it away.
Strength check or saving throw?
Let's do a saving throw for you.
Either both the same, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, you manage to just like whip the rug off as it like, and it's like animated in front of you next to the opposite wall. And then you're hitting it with 14 damage, which is now no longer holding you, so it's going to take all of that damage. So I will write down that one there. So the reason I'm saying that one to Richard is when somebody is being smothered by the rug, it takes half damage, and any creature inside it takes half of the damage as well. So it's pretty brutal. So I'm still going with the green on the insides of those ones. For Fluffy, who's asking, I'm just trying to get into that fold of the rug there, which is hard to see on this camera, and just get those like finer details in the centre.
I've gone green in the centre, got the corn red going around the outside, and I'm doing a couple of little bits in yellow.
Nice, I really like that. So it is now this creature's go, and you've pushed it away and you've managed to fight it, but it's going to try and smother you again because it's right there and that's its job. That is a natural one. So as it goes to lunge forward, you manage to like step out of the way, and it just into the door as it kind of like goes flat, rolls onto the ground, and then like arcs its way up like a cobra. It can't do anything else. Its movement speed is only 10 foot. It doesn't need to go anywhere because you're right there. Jessica, you're up.
Okie dokie. I'm going to strike at it again, screaming my battle cry. And I'm also going to use Divine Smite again.
Absolutely, you are.
So those. So that is a 14 points of damage.
What did you roll to hit?
Oh, that actually helped. Why didn't I do that? Strength check. Right, let's try this exercise again. No, I don't. I don't do any of that because I rolled a 7.
Okay. As you bring the sword down, you don't need to expend the Divine Smite because you don't need to do that until you actually hit.
Until I hit.
Yep, exactly. And as you go to strike down, it's like recoiling back from the door. It just moves too quick for you at this point. I think in your heavy armor, maybe like the strike was strong, but it was slow. Anything else from yourself?
No, I'm not going to move away from its area. I've got no bonus actions I can do. I'm going to just basically move myself in the best position I can be to defend against another attempt.
Okay, so as you go to strike down, it sort of like whips around you and it like moves around your space. So it still stays in the melee range, but it's just like thematically moving around as it tries to come up behind you and wrap around your sword arm. And once again, we're going to go try and get you into that smothering because you're the only target. That's cocked. Let's try that again. Oh, that is an unnatural 20.
Okay, what do I resist for this again? It was
So you don't yet. You need to make an escape. Basically, you need to try and escape.
Yeah, it auto smothers, doesn't it?
Yes, basically, if it hits. So it gets your arm and it then wraps around your neck and over your head. And although it's like only covering part of you, you are, again, it's really strong. You are restrained, you are grappled. You are going to take 5, 6, 7, 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Thank you.
As it tries to bring you down to the ground and wrap you up like a python would wrap up its prey when it goes to eat it. You are up, buddy. If you would like to escape, you can make a strength check.
I'm going to strike out it again.
Okay.
If I escape, all it's going to do is try and smother me then on its turn again.
Exactly. So this is the thing with action economy that Richard's doing here. He knows full well it's going him, then somebody else. Or him, then the creature, him, then the creature. If there were more people in the party here, he could escape from it and they could take care of it. But because it's him, he's having to waste his action economy trying to get out.
Oh, that's just mean. Okay, so instead of my natural 20, I have to take my dirty 20.
It's still a hit. So again, with an armor class of 12, that is going to be, it's definitely going to be a hit. Roll some damage. I assume you're pumping in another Divine Smite.
Right.
How many of those have you got left?
I have one more left after this one.
So that's 3 in total you'll have had, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, roll up that damage.
16 points of damage in total.
16
I will cross off another spell slot spent.
points of damage. Okay, so bits of the rug now. You have poked your sword through it, and there are holes appearing, and it's starting to look tatty. Anything else from yourself?
Again, I have got no bonus actions. Nothing I could do. No. Again, it's just a case of moving into a position to best defend myself against being smothered, which I know is coming.
So you are currently smothered and restrained, and your speed is currently 0.
No, yeah, I'm. So again, it's just going to be a case of
as you try and like pull it off your face and stab it and not stab yourself.
Yeah, basically trying to sort of move it around, even to a point of. Is there any wooden structures near me?
You cannot see. You are blinded by the rug.
Completely blinded, yeah. So yeah, it's all it is a case of focusing on hitting this pissing thing.
Trying to get it off you. Okay, so it is the rug of Smothering's go. Once more, it's just tightening itself upon you. Oh, actually, sorry, my apologies. It's going to take half of that damage because as you strike it, it transfers suffering. So this is one of its abilities. It's damage transfer. While grappling a creature, the rug takes only half damage dealt to it, and the creature grappled by the rug takes the other half. So that's 16. It's going to go down to 8. And you are going to take 8 points of your own damage. How are you looking?
Not well.
Okay. While you were still smothered, on its go, it is going to attempt, and it has advantage now because you are smothered. It's going to keep trying to strangle you. So, the first one is a 14 plus 5. Let's see if I can get that critty. That's a 7 plus 5. So 14 plus 5 for a 19. Does that hit?
A 19 hits.
Okay. So, first thing that we're going to notice is that Richard now loses that 30 seconds of air. He's now on 2 rounds he can survive before dropping to 0 hit points as it is. Just for suffocating. He is going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of bludgeoning damage as it chokes around his neck.
I'm down. I'm done.
Are you down?
I'm down.
Okay. So in this moment, you're like, and you are slashing at it, but it's just choking like a snake around your neck, and the world, even though you're blind, you can just feel that darkness coming on as you fall into unconsciousness. Richard, at the start of your go, can you make me a death saving throw, please?
Oh, yeah, 19.
19. You survive a round. There's nothing else you can do on your round.
Nope.
It's going to carry on choking you. However, it's technically... I still need to roll to hit. So this could go badly wrong. But I think it's going to be 2 automatic failures in a second.
You don't need to roll to hit when I am unconscious.
I still do. One of the D&D rules is even if they're unconscious...
Not when you're restricted, isn't it?
No, I just have advantage on the attack. So
I swear there's... Oh, wow. I swear
either way,
because I'm not twitching.
No, well, either way, it's going to be a 16 and a 17 plus 5, so it is going to hit. I like to give the players more chances to survive anyway. You are going to take 2 automatic death saves from the bludgeoning damage as the rug snaps your neck. In these last moments, is there anything Jessica does?
She prays to the god of the tides to accept her into the embrace, and prays for the opportunity to sail on the seas in the world beyond.
As you... It's painless. It's very quick. And... you feel the world turn to black even though you're already blinded, and you reach out to your deity, and all of a sudden it's not your neck crunching, but it's the sound of maybe like a leaflet at a dock under your feet crumpling, as we then see like it blowing away as your armored boot steps off it, and we see Jessica heading towards a boat where there are her friends and people from her past that maybe have been some kind of influence to her, and they're all beckoning, and they're all, come on, we're gonna go, we found like this treasure map, and and there's like blessings and callings, and it just feels warm, and the sun's setting in the distance, and you just feel happy. And like, if you go on this voyage, you will only find happiness. And you step onto the boat, and you feel, as you reach out to your deity of the tide, the call of the sea. And we fade out of Jessica's passing into the afterlife. And that, I'm afraid, is your first death, I believe, on this show.
No, I think we had a couple of early deaths against the Angels.
No, I think you beat those.
No, because they were story-related beatings, weren't they?
Yeah, so they were like skill challenges, but yeah, and I think this shows like how dangerous a rug of Smothering can be, because I forgot about the transfer suffering in that first attack, or else that could have gone way worse, way quicker. And when you're facing one and you're with a party of people, although it's only a CR2, and like say there's like in Richard's party this time around, there were 3 people at different points in the house. But if they'd have gone in together, they would have attacked the rug. He would have still taken the amount of damage. And, it's a very dangerous thing. So it's all about trying to escape it and having the party there to help you. But if party members come across these on their own, they're like brain dogs. They can end a party member in no time at all. But you did well enough. I mean, like, you really kind of like hit it with damage. Like, if I hadn't have forgotten about that, or if I had carried on forgetting about that transfer damage, it only had 3 hit points left.
Well, I knew that was my only chance.
Yeah, and you played it absolutely stonkingly well, because it is all about the action economy. If it's just you versus another one, if it can do things that gives you conditions, it's hard to get away from that. So yeah, I think you played it absolutely perfectly, and it was just unfortunately in the dice rolls that it didn't go your way. But
that's just the way of D&D.
And it's exactly that. And Jessica's dead. Get a new character. She might come back later. Who knows? We've got some undead to fight.
That's it.
But yeah, it's I like things like the animated objects for stuff like that, and even using the minis like this, like for clerics when they have their spiritual weapons, because they don't have to be the standard things. Yeah, I really like these monsters, and I really like weapons like that.
I do intend to build up a little bit of a library of models like this for things like as you said, the cleric weapons and bits and pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that.
I tell you what, though, I'm finding this thing more challenging to paint than I thought I was gonna.
So I'm just trying to be careful here, and I realise I'm going for the flat one at the moment, and we've still got half an hour. That was over that quickly as a one-on-one. But I mean, I'm just trying to go around the edges with the gold now and keep it nice and tidy around there. And that's still only just the flat one. How about you? How are you getting on?
I've mainly been doing the flat one. I'm trying to do a little bit on the other one. It's just interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why this is one of my favourite minis that you've printed out so far, is because for something that should be so basic, there is a lot of detail.
Wait till I print the second Tarrasque.
So those of you who don't know, a Tarrasque is going to be coming up, and I don't think it's for like another 100 pages. So we've got like half a year or a third of a year. It's fine. But that's a big beastie.
I will be giving one away, though.
Oh,
I warn everyone now.
Oh, shit. Really?
When the Tarrasque comes out, there will be a second one printed for someone to have the opportunity to win.
No, that's awesome.
So some of the big monsters, I will be doing some prize drops.
I'm not going to give away anything just yet. I know I've got an idea in mind for a giveaway, but I'm going to wait for that to be a surprise. However, that's freaking awesome. Like, I know I've seen the minis that Richard is going to be printing for a lot of these, and yeah, if it's the Tarrasque I'm thinking of that I think you shared with me the other week, holy hell.
Lord of the possibly Lord of the Print.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful mini. Really, really is. And if you guys don't ever get the chance to put a Trask down on your table, if you win one, just do it. Kill them. Kill your party.
Have a bit of fun.
Yeah, you know, D&D is all about you as the DM, not them. It's you versus them. Kill them. It's really not. Please don't do that. Your party will end up hating you. But I think one of my favourite uses for it would be Icewind Dale. And spoilers, it's not part of the story, but one of the items of loot you can get is a scroll of Summon Tarask.
Ooh.
Which is stupid. It's like, wow, you want to destroy the entire area? Yeah, dragon's not good enough for you. All right, we'll have a reflective carapaced monster beast. Kaiju attack everything. And it doesn't even just attack things against you, it attacks you too.
Attack everything.
Oh, they are absolute monsters and I love them. So it's going to be fun to paint that up. And I've already got an idea in mind what I want to do with it. How about you?
I'm a bit too daunted by it. It's basically going to be a lot of dry brushing.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to do, especially without the airbrush.
Yes. So this is the other thing here is that we're trying to do a lot of this without an airbrush, and I tell you now, I am going to be using an airbrush for at least one particular miniature, which is going to be the gelatinous cube, because I have a way of doing those that I like to try and get the plastic to look as transparent as possible, and it gunks up my airbrush and it shows you not what to do with an airbrush whatsoever, but it gives you a really good result, and so I'm going to try and do that.
I can't wait for a gelatinous cube.
It's going to be awesome.
I've been saving a section of a bottle just for that.
A section of a bottle?
Yes, because I don't have to paint a gelatinous cube.
Oh! I know exactly what you're going to do. You'll go with transparent resin.
You're fucking right,
And why not? Because, I'm going with the WizKids ones because, like I said, I'm going to try and do as many of the WizKids minis as possible because we wanted to show you that when it comes to a lot of the D&D minis, and for those beginner painters out there, you don't need to go and get expensive minis. You don't need to, sculpt them yourself. If you can find people like Richard who do these beautiful prints, then amazing. Go use Richard as a 3D printing service because he's amazing at it. But if you haven't got the money, WizKids do cheap minis. And, for things like the Aarakocra, which is episode 1, before Richard was even on the show, it was just me painting on my own, really lonely and really sad.
Little old you.
Little old me. But it's £4 and you get that and a harpy. You get 2 minis for £4. So I really like the idea of this being a, not necessarily just a how-to, but a table-ready, cheap show. But also being able to show you that you can expand to minis like Richard's and like the ones that he can bring to you, because it's just awesome. And especially if he's going to give away a Tarask, because then you have every excuse to kill your party. But I will grab the WizKids one. Hang on. Because we got time to show things off. So that's my one primed and ready to go. And there was a gentleman, not primed and ready to go, because I don't need to prime it. It's transparent. You could leave it like that and paint job done.
Is that the gelatinous cube?
That's one of the 5 I've got to paint.
Okay, let me see if I can see mine.
So while everybody else is watching and Richard steps away to get his, because Richard is very cool and I know exactly what he's doing. I've got several of these for a reason. I was contacted by a fellow on Instagram who suggested, after I'd painted up these ones to be as transparent as possible, to try and do the LGBTQ plus flag and do it with gelatinous cubes. So that challenge was accepted, and I was like, yes, I will absolutely do that. And then we started this show, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing on stream. I'm going to start that section off. So I'm going to throw that one over there for now. This is Loot Studios, isn't it? I freaking love that mini. It was one of the first things that grabbed my attention for Loot. It's so good.
This is printed in transparent resin, and basically just the little bits of bone and shield and a treasure chest on the top here are picked out, primed and painted.
Oh. Yeah. That's it. Oh, so Herbalist, that's my goblins all primed and ready. Is that your book nook, is it?
Oh, I can't wait to see that one painted.
That is my favourite one of the book nooks. So for those of you, again, that weren't here maybe at the start of the show or don't know about Richard, what he's showing there is his orc book nook, along with things like the dragon, which he's got from insert name of company. Miniature of Madness. And Rich has been printing those for pretty much the entire Badger group, I think now, is going to be putting an order in. He's been painting up his orc one, and I've been watching the pictures as it goes. It's so goddamn good. But Herbalist is doing a giveaway on the Imps, which I think is still running Herbalist.
Not going to lie, I really want to win them.
Yeah, I want to win my own print back. Yeah, she painted up the Imps, and like all the reds and purples on there are so good, and those yellow eyes. They're phenomenal. And those of you who haven't seen Herbalist yet, it's on till the 31st as she's here in chat. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, go find Herbalist and her Instagram account. That's where she's running the giveaway. Also, I believe she is now streaming a lot more on Twitch, which I embarrassingly keep missing. And I'm very sorry about that, Herbalist. Even by setting a timer, I'm still weaponizing my incompetence. So
yeah, don't worry, I'm just as bad. I would also like to give a shout out to Ground Affected, whose painting videos and tutorials have been not beyond. The eyes on this orc were done literally following one of his videos. Check him out on YouTube. He is a legend. He's a tattoo artist. He's done all my big sort of tattoos, and he paints phenomenally. And he's a printer, and he owns a studio local to me.
That's awesome.
And he is a legend. Yeah, check him out. Groundaffected.com or Ground Affected on YouTube, Ground Affected on Instagram. You will not regret it. To a point of just even for shits and giggles, go and check out his videos on turning a Games Workshop tank into an actual flamethrower tank.
Oh, it's that guy!
Remote controlled, real flamethrower. He took it to Salute as well. Fucking epic. And he's also been kitting out hover tank, other bits and pieces like that. Dude is insane.
Surely, though, everybody's seen those, because I didn't know that was somebody that you were acquainted with, and I've seen those videos because they're fucking awesome. It's like the Ultramarines tank, isn't it? It's just like the saxophone playing.
Yeah, the saxophone. I've seen it. I've played with it. I've played with the remote control on it. It is incredible.
I love the excitement of a grown-ass adult being like, I've played with that toy! I've played with it!
It was so good. I was gutted I couldn't play with the flamethrower bit because he was still building it when I went in.
It's still very cool. It was super awesome, and yeah, definitely go check those out, because way above my skill level. I'm sat here distracting myself talking so that I don't have to carry on trying to detail all this gold on this rug. How are you doing on your rug, though? Because that is the point of the show.
I'm not doing well.
It's a bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm actually really glad the combat is over.
Yeah, if I can focus on this now.
Yeah, pretty much. So although there are all these raised areas, which I'm actually getting with the side of the brush mostly, so I'm being lazy and I'm not watering down my Retributor armor, which I know is a bad habit. And
I've watered down my paints, and I'm having to keep correcting things as they're falling into the bloody cracks.
So those of you who are new to mini painting and are watching this maybe on YouTube or wherever, usually you would put two very thin coats, as Duncan Rhodes says, two thin coats of a paint on and layer it up so you have a nice smooth finish, and you don't have this kind of striations and brush strokes on the metallics, which you probably can't see on that camera, to be honest. But I don't have time for that today, and this is only to be tabletop ready, so I am absolutely throwing it down as quick as possible, and I'm not thinning it down. And I'm sure I'll regret that later on, but I want to get the mini done within the hour. But it's also why I dry brushed and I don't wash my minis. I mean, I wash when I can remember. Smells so bad in here. It smells like D&D in here.
Right, to brave the local Games Workshop the other day. That's fun.
Ours isn't too bad, and I think it's like a big thing. Like when I was younger, that like BO was a big thing there, but actually the one down here is... I've not had that in there yet. Let us know your experiences with BO in a Games Workshop. And I don't think it's the people that are unclean. I think it's just they're always so warm, those stores. And when it's such a small space of people really getting into their games, a musk can occur.
Can occur.
A musk can happen.
Can occur in such situations.
Yeah, and it's...
I'm a bit nervous about painting this animated one.
I'm still going for it. I'm trying, again, to get those golds around the edges and then just the green in the centre. Dude, that's awesome!
It's just plain. It's just...
Yeah, I'm going with, like, red as the base, then going across. So, yes, we'll go from there as we find our way across this rug of smothering. Yeah, I like these creatures as a harder dungeon filler. I'm just trying to, again, use the side of that brush just to get down those, like, thin areas. What I like about this mini as well is that, like, it doesn't have a base. Because obviously it is its own base. And I was tempted to weigh part of it down with maybe, like, a small washer or something just to stop it from rolling. But actually, I don't think it really needs it. I actually quite like that, you know, it fills its own space and that it just looks like it's really animated. Right, so that's the gold all around there done. Oi. Didn't realise how fine those finer bits would be. They look really thick up close. Yes,
they're really not, are they?
Yeah, it's a little harder than I thought it was going to be. But that's all right. I'm going to accent some of that green now. So I'm going to take my Vallejo flat green, which is basically, I think, goblin green from the army painter, and I'm going to then try and add that to, like, the tops of those skulls and that crossbone.
How are we doing for time?
You know what? Killing it. You still got 15 minutes.
You say that, I've still got a second model to paint.
Well, that's on you for not being quicker.
Yeah.
Be quicker. Go, Richard, go.
Yeah, go on, chop.
There's some countdown music on the go for 15 minutes.
Oh, that'd be good. rocking out to the old school.
Yeah, it's countdown! Right. Here we go. Realise I haven't used this Vallejo paint in a long time. Oop. Spitting at me. There we go. I don't need that much. So, I am going to water this one down just to put the highlights on so they blend in better to the green that we already have down. Right. And we're going to go from there. Oh! It always feels like such like a panic to like try and get these done. So what's everybody else painting up at the moment? Dibs, I've seen you've been busy recently. Obviously, Herbalist, I know that...
Killing it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that Herbalist has been streaming like crazy. I believe you've just hit affiliate, which is awesome. Congratulations if you have.
I'm very jealous of these people that can paint so much and get so much. I can never get ththings cracked out the way they do.
But it's like Kelly from the Band of Badgers. And those of you who haven't seen Kelly Rowe, he's on Instagram as Kelcore666. And although he describes it as painting smart, so he like has several minis on the go at once and he does them in batch colours and stuff. Man, he is pumping them out. Like every day is like a new one finished and it's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, here's one I've done in 3 weeks, you know.
Like, I'm working on something super secret mini-wise at the moment that I'm hoping to, in the next couple of weeks, show off. But even then, like, I'm trying to take my time with it, and it's just like, oh, God, I don't have the time. Herbalist, I did. Had a wee cry and everything. Yeah, and rightly so, you absolutely deserved it. I mean, we're slowly trying to work our way there. I think we're on 26 at the moment. And yeah, it's just a case of just keep on plugging for us. Hopefully we'll get there soon enough, but I'm just having fun with it, you know? I'm enjoying our Thursday sessions, enjoying our Warhammer 2 Guys 1 Cup show. Hopefully, had a lovely conversation with a gentleman about the Star Wars Legion show on possibly a Monday night. And I'm very much looking forward to that, because that could actually be us playing live games and going through stuff.
Let me know if you need any lightsabers printed as well, you know.
I do. I actually do, Richard. I will talk to you about that later on after the stream. I have a dark saber that I did myself, but I've been using the printer for other things at the moment. But I want to... Obviously, I've got the armory wall behind me, which is my sci-fi side of the thing, and my guns area. But the other armory bits, I'm going to have one being like melee weapons for sci-fi, and another one being tech items and stuff, and hopefully have like the studio when all 3 panels are on for when we play Starfinder to look more like an armory.
Ooh.
That's the hope anyway.
So I've got lots of hilts.
And that's all it needs to be. So I will talk to you about that. Right. Also my secret project that Rich is helping me with, but I can't post on Insta as my wife will see it. Oh! So I'm going to presume that that's because it's for her and not oh God, I've spent so much money, please don't see me.
That could be one of them too.
Nice. Right, so I don't know if this will show up on the camera, but what I'm trying to do is accent the very tops of those skulls on the green with a slightly lighter green, and then I'm going to go in with a brighter green again, so it's almost got that like kind of poison toxicity look to it. Now I want to listen to System of a Down.
Oh, I've been listening to them recently, getting all nostalgic and sort.
Oh.
Right, okay, standalone one's done.
Nice. How's it going? What have you managed to do?
So I have literally just been boring and done yellow on the edges in the centre. I've done torn red with a sort of top coat of Evil Sun Scarlet. Whitehoe green with the contrast Parandress green.
Oh,
and then
lovely.
dry brush over that in Scarsmith green, just to sort of edge the skulls on the top.
Awesome, dude.
Don't feel I've done this model justice.
Yeah, you know what? Thought it was going to be a really easy paint job. Turns out,
No.
no. And I realise I've missed a bit on some of these as well.
How long we got?
We've got 10 minutes, Richard. You can do it.
Oh.
I believe in
Oh.
you. I believe in you. I'm going to... Ah, fudge. Managed to go over the edge line. I need to suck some of that up.
What do you want?
Oh, I didn't want to waste time cleaning up.
What have we got next week?
Oh, so I'm not going to be here next week because congratulations to my wife who is married to me, but she's also graduating university.
Yay.
It's her graduation day, and she's like worked really hard on the past 3 years of me having a mental breakdown and her trying to do that. Has not been fun. And yeah, so it's her graduation day. So I won't be here next week, Richard. So we probably going to have a week off unless you want to shift the days.
The week after then.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a holiday.
Oh, we've had a good run. So what are we doing when we get back then?
When we get back, we're on the Unkeg. So,
ooh,
yeah. It's another CR2 creature that is a freaking monster. I love them again as low-level party encounters. I love them as a wilderness encounter. And yeah, I think that one will be really fun. It's another possible one where a level 3 character could die very quickly if they're on their own. And we'll just have to wait and see.
And if they're a wizard.
And if they're a wizard. But I mean, if you can keep your distance from them, and we'll talk about that more when we get to them, it's not too bad.
The problem is, again, keeping your distance from something when you have nothing else to distract it is challenging.
Yes.
Especially when it's a case of only you can move 30 feet, they can move 40.
Yeah, and they don't have that much speed. I'll tell you now, they've got a 10-foot burrow speed and a 30-foot speed, which is fine if you didn't start next to it. If you did, exactly. But then it's all about action economy again, and it's all about like, okay, I'm going to waste this action. I say not waste. I'm going to spend this action instead of attacking. I'm going to run. I'm going to double fucking dash and go. So that's one way of doing it. And I guess
It's only good if you can then hit it at range.
exactly that. And it's as a wizard, you'd hope to have ranged spells, but then if we take Fizzwiz, my character from the Band of Badgers Dragonlance campaign, for a while I had no range. I had to get up close and personal because I was trying to be a buff character, so it was more defensive, or if anybody got close to me, I'd have a touch spell ready.
Yeah.
That was it. And
you see, I enjoy stuff like that, and I love the uniqueness of such characters and actually trying to do something a little bit different rather than going pow, pow, pow with magic missiles and fireballs.
yeah, I am a big fan of being a support character. I really, really enjoy the wizards, the bards, because it's all about, like, I really love giving other players that extra damage, I love giving other players the kill, and I don't know if it's the DM part of me, it's like, yeah, you did it! And, so I really like being that helpful character rather than, like, the damage dealer, because I get more enjoyment.
I quite enjoy pair-ups.
Yeah, so, for sure.
When you pair up a cleric and a blood hunter, it's quite a potent mix.
It really is. Yeah, if you like do that as two people, or if you multi-class it.
Well, no, it's supporting another character. I did a campaign with my old man. I was a cleric, and I would just be a buff cleric, and I was a battery for the blood hunter. So I'd stay near, buff, and then heal after having to use the moves and stuff.
Ah, lovely. Yeah, that's cool. So I like that. But I think with things like the Ankeg, if you can keep your distance, it's fine. Or if there's other members of the party to distract, again, it's fantastic. But when it's one-on-one, and I won't know what I'm doing until Richard tells me what he's rolled. So that's kind of...
I'll have to think of a couple of contingencies. Are we still going to be in this house, though?
I will tell you now, probably not. It was easier for me to keep this to one thing, just like the Angels, because I didn't have to...
I quite like the theme of it, having like a theme for a section sort of thing.
Well, yeah, and it's sort of, that's just how it kind of fell, because I did the Angels, and the first one obviously was like the Deva with Strahd, and it was like, just trying to think on the spot for where one could be like, hey, I'm a messenger, let's test you, I'm kind of like the messenger of the god, and this is how they're doing it, because, don't question the gods. And then obviously, like, the second one with the Planetar and you rolling Warlock, I was like, okay, let's make it the Blood War. Let's make it like the Angels versus Demons, or the Demons versus Devils, and let's, play out being on the bad side of that. And then obviously the week after was the Solar. And again, if I'd have put you against a Solar on its own without any of those magical items, if you were fighting it, because I didn't know what magical items you were going to choose, I didn't just want to, like, smash you down in one hit. And then you came out with the, like, bang, Wing of Three Rishes, and I was like, yeah, okay, I should have seen that coming. And, and that was really cool, and I really loved that you took on board that it was a skill challenge more than a combat, and that it was on your side. And I found that really fun, that you really played into, like, trying to help it succeed so that you could gain the power to then help your friends and allies. And so I liked the themes of that, and I really liked that with this one, you gave me the ability to, like, with these, to take you on a random dungeon crawl from different angles. So thank you, Richard.
I love that the most. The different aspects of it. I think we're nearly done. What are we for time?
4 minutes.
I really love that. That sort of multiple aspects of going into, like, the house and stuff like that. It's good fun.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And again, that's kind of the whole point of the games, is to just have fun. And as a DM, you've been a fantastic player, and just embracing, having to ad-lib.
As a player, you've been a fantastic DM.
Oh, thank you very much. You can nominate us for a critty. No, if this show ever managed to get to that level, I'd be fucking blown beyond belief. It'd blow my mind. But it's been fun to, like, really lean into just kind of, like, improv with you, because obviously, like, usually we have time as dungeon masters to plan out a dungeon, write things down, and go.
Really?
Yeah, do you not do planning? Oh, I love session prep. Absolutely adore it.
I love prep. I love planning, but I'm a chaos brain, so I tend to do a lot of not being good at it.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what I like is with my chaos brain is that if I've got, for example, I've written the homebrew world that we're playing in. So if they do roll dice and it goes badly, or it's never going badly, it just tells us where the story's going to go. I have contingency plans, and I've got places they can go to, so that they're never just left stranded, and they can always gain momentum in the story by having good rolls or bad rolls. So I do like to be prepped out in that sort of sense. And if they've got a dungeon crawl, I really like to go into detail. I will map out the entire dungeon. I will make the terrain. I will put it all together so each room's ready to go. So if they teleport through a wall instead of going through the door, I have those rooms ready to go. And I'll have them all worded out and stuff like that. And it's all down to them trying to throw me off after that. And I enjoy that so much. So I think that's what's been fun about this with you, is that during this entire ad-libbed dungeon crawl, you have just really lent into it and just helped me build the world, and that's the point. And hopefully other people have enjoyed it along the way.
Fingers crossed.
Alright, I am nearly done. So all I'm doing now is I'm taking snake scales from the Army Painter, and I'm just applying some very fine highlights to the tops of the green areas on that cross in the center of the rug. And with my last minute, I may attempt to smooth out some of that gold. How are you doing?
I've given up on the second one.
We can give up in 83 seconds if you'd like.
So I'm just adding a bit of aging to the yellow fabric of the rug by giving it a bit of ripened flesh shade.
Let's add some red highlights as well. And then we are almost ready. Almost. We've got 1 minute, Richard. 1 minute. It all goes quiet. Is anybody else painting up anything exciting this week then? Are we?
Say again?
Are you painting up anything else exciting this week?
I want to try and get to a couple of my other paint projects because I've got a lot. I have a Gandalf behind me that I've been dying to paint since I printed him.
Nice.
I've also got a batch of orc and goblins to get painted up for a commission once I finish this commission I'm doing.
Lovely.
And also, I've got a Gromesh Hellscream I want to get painted.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to have a Hellboy to paint at some point. And I kind of want to get this dragon done.
And that is time. So, were you able to finish a mini in the hour?
I was able to finish a mini.
Show us what you've done. Show us what you've got.
And I'm not impressed with myself. It's
Hey, for a tabletop ready mini, I think that's pretty good to go.
It'll do.
Yeah. So I'm going to move my dice out of the way because I don't need those anymore. I killed you. Gotcha.
Did indeed, you bugger.
Gotcha. So that's the flat rug, which we just tried to add a few bits of highlighting on the reds and the greens. I would have added...
I should have gone for a gold instead of a yellow.
I don't know, I like the yellow, but I liked the regalness of the gold. I was kind of just going for what I would imagine it to be from the kind of dungeon we were building in the picture in the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went for that one and that one, and then the animated one itself, let's see if I can get any of that to show up, because it's really dark in here. We did manage to get in there and get those highlights done on the cross. We're trying to keep the carpet looking as animated as possible. But yeah, we managed to, I would say, achieve 2 tabletop minis within the hour. 1 piece of terrain and 1...
You did well. They look wicked as well.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of those for saying that I did them so quickly. And I think that I'm not necessarily going to go back in and redo anything on them. I think that I will maybe, because I wanted to put in some of the airbrush white, I used that to do tiny thin lines on top of metallics because it's really thin, and I might edge highlight some of the gold with that. But I don't think I need to for a tabletop mini. I'm pretty happy with how that's gone. I'm pretty happy that I got you. I finally killed you. And D&D's not a game of 1v1, but when we're having fun like this, fuck you, I killed you.
Yeah, exactly. Damn right.
You are going to kill so many of the monsters, and it's just nice to know I got one.
You say that, I'm going to kill a lot of them, but then there's going to be an awful lot. Fuck me up.
Hey, you know, if you get swallowed, you get swallowed. That's the other point, is if you're a DM throwing things like a Tarask at a level 3 player, fuck you. You are a bad DM. Unless the dice have decided that that's what's happening. Unless the players have done something catastrophically ridiculous that has managed to gain them that. Don't do that. They're not going to have fun.
I am, however, going to try and think on my feet and try and best some of the more harder creatures depending on the characters that roll.
And I will
and one or two I will, instead of a random, I will request a loadout just because I would love to try certain things myself.
And this is exactly the platform to do that on, I think. Same with when you said about the can I have some magic items going up against a soul? I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? It doesn't matter here. We are throwing characters away. We are throwing monsters away.
It was literally just, it was just like loading up God mode or a test mode on a game.
Yeah, exactly.
See what's going on.
And it's like with RP, I love rewarding RP. So when you were the Warlock and you were like, I'm praying to Asmodeus, give me the power. I was like, you know what? I've given you a situation where you can steal some souls. Let's do it. Let's play on that.
I love it. That was good fun because I did love that. That was good.
But again, I wasn't thinking about that before. You came up with that on the spot. You gave me that incentive. So like, I'm okay with you like loading out on certain things. I think when it comes to the bigger creatures, like a Tarask, like big dragons, you're a level 3 player. You know, like today's combat. I mean, this was only a CR2, and it got you.
Yeah. It fucking got me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because it's just that. Those conditions really make a difference.
Situational can really screw you in the teeth. I mean, and considering I was a paladin, so in the grand scheme of things, I was pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any healing. You know, I have healing. Sorry, I've got the smites. You go toe to toe with a paladin 9 times out of 10, you are smush.
Yeah, I mean they are massively overpowered, and they can take on many things past their CR of a party. They usually are that, and the barbarian are the tanks. And they can heal, and they don't have to worry about spell slots in terms of like per turn. You can just keep pumping them in, and they're amazing. So it's just the thing that took you out was action economy, and that was it. And it was a case of either you need to deal more damage to it than it can deal to you quicker than you strangling it, being strangled.
Couple of different rolls on the dice, I'd have killed it.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, like I said, if I had forgotten still about the transfer damage, you'd have got it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, actually, no, I need to notice this particular thing for everybody at home.
Yeah, that's part and parcel. So
and that's just an automatic part of its thing. And the other thing that it has as well, which is the anti-magic susceptibility, just like the rest of the things. Again, if you've got wizards in your party, dispel magic, it's gone for a minute. And it's just, one-on-one, it just unfortunately didn't go your way. But that...
I'll tell you what I would like to do at some point.
Tell me.
A couple of them, I wouldn't mind doing some pre-plans. But low combat ratings, so... be it a quarter to a 3, I want you to plan 15th level fight.
Okay.
So scale it up.
You want me to scale? Okay.
I just as a show off, as a test, do a low level fight, but we will both. I'll roll a high level. I'll still go random, but I'll roll high level.
Yeah.
And pump them up just to see what we can play the things with.
I know exactly where I'm going to get you. I know exactly where it's going to be.
You're going to do it. Do it nice.
Oh, I wonder where that is in the monster manual. So I know. I've already got it in mind. There is a particular monster that is fuck all. Unless they are en masse.
It's the Magikarp of the monster manual.
And they are nothing. You could blow at one and it will disappear. Unless there are a horde of them. And then there's a problem. And there's 2 ways we can do this. I can scale one up, and it will scale up amazingly well. Or I can redress it. Or I can throw hundreds of these things at you.
I'd say scale up.
Oh, I'll scale up. I'm very happy to do that. Very, very happy. And I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So, Good luck. This is basically going to be a level 15 versus a level 15 one-on-one fight.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'm not going to tell you when that is until about the week before.
That's fine. I'll start. Once I know, I'll have the week to plan a character.
Yeah. You've got a while. So unless something comes up beforehand, that I think could be quite good to do it with. But I think that one particular for me is like...
No, I love that. That's beautiful.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for taking part and for being there in chat and watching us be grown-ass children and just have fun. And Richard, again, thank you for just embellishing the story and just being...
Thank you for having me, mate. It's brilliant. I love it.
I freaking love my Thursdays. Like, I wake up, me and my wife take the kids to school, I play a little bit of Pokemon Go as we come back, get some Pokestops, and then I come in here and I set up for this show, and it's just great. And I get to sit here and I get to paint minis and...
Look, paint minis in D&D, it's everything.
Yeah, and I love playing with a bigger group. I love playing a serious arc, but I can't DM and paint at the same time because it would just be unfair on the players for me to be that distracted. But with you here, Ad Living Things, I have the best of times, dude. And Dibs plans his week around it. That's what we like to hear, Dibs. There's going to be giveaways. Sorry, there's nothing next week, buddy. I'm really sorry, but
sorry, dude.
For once, my wife is more important than me, and I don't say that lightly. I'm pretty important to me. And Richard's all right too. But no, we'll take the week off. We'll have a nice break. We're coming back with the Onkeg. So, Richard, have you got an Onkeg in mind for this one?
Yes, I have. I've seen a lot of the print one, and I might actually even scale it up a bit just to sort of paint a big model.
So I'm looking at the monster manual here, and I'm like, it's got those browns, and it's got those kind of like putrid colours to it. And I was going to try and stick to the monster manual and try and keep them as like raw as yeah. And I'm looking at it like, or should I do something like really chitinous and like, should I go get some Turbo Dork and like do things like
a couple of the bigger ones? I might have to concede and use my baby and get the airbrush out. I
tell you now, anything transparent, I'm using the airbrush, and that can be. Yeah. Richard can teach us how to use an airbrush because I wing it.
Dude, don't tell him that. I fucking wing it.
It was so funny because we were on Band of Badges one after the other, and you were on just before me with the Minotaur for the frameworks. And I had like this plan. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the airbrush out. Nobody's done the airbrush yet, and I'll look like I know what I'm doing. And you were like, yes, this is an airbrush. I was like, dick. But it was awesome, and like I loved your Minotaur, and it was like all those muscle striations that you did with the pink and the purple was so freaking good.
Do you know what? What's painful and is a great show of how organised my brain is. It's still here on its block that I painted it on and started, and it has not moved since.
I don't have mine. So I did the Dryder, and it's over there somewhere. I have dropped it.
Oh, you had the Dryder, didn't you?
Yeah, so I was a bit cocky with that. And you can actually check these streams out on Band of Badgers. And if I can find the link, I'll put it in the one below for Richard and mine's video. And do check out the Epic Brush Off and the Frameworks one. I think JD Weicker from WizKids is on Thursday tonight. He's painting with the Badgers, and they're doing the next range of frameworks, which is awesome. I think Kelly's going to be there. Maybe Hagley, are you going to be there? I can't remember who's taking part or not. But either way, the actual man himself, JD Weicker from WizKids, is going to be there. So, and they're only like 10 people away from 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, so go follow.
Let's get some love for the Badgers.
Yeah, and then you maybe throw some shade our way.
Yeah, man.
But it's go check him out because it's awesome. That show's going to be on tonight live on Twitch. I think it's about 9 o'clock, and it's always a pleasure to watch him paint because he can paint through things real fast and good. But he's been doing it for years. But it's been a pleasure. We'll have a week off and we'll come back fighting.
Come back big and strong.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the Onkeg. Until then, guys, thank you so much. Links for Richard are in chat. They'll be in the description. May the dice gods be ever in your favour.